A lot of people, I'm included, and President Biden also, think that a lot of it is about racism and sexism. And those are the reasons that you really lost, not because of the time thing. What do you say to that? Do you think this country will ever elect a woman president? In my lifetime, probably not.
I beg to differ. I believe that we will. And listen, you know this, and I've been honored to be on this show many times and talk with this esteemed group. Every office I've held, I've been the first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Usually the first woman, and then often the first woman and the first person of color. Mm-hmm. The only time actually I was the second, when I was the second black woman ever elected to the United States Senate in its hundreds of years history. So I'm not naive. Race and gender do play a factor in some people's minds about how they vote. But my history tells me, because I have been the first in all of those, that people ultimately want to know that this is the best person to do the job.
I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with Kamala Harris here, that it's not about her race, because it wasn't about her race. It's about whether you can do the job. And Americans had 4 years to see that she was literally ineffective at her job. She was literally useless. She was probably one of the worst vice presidents we've ever had. Maybe even worse than Dick Cheney. And that's saying a lot, because Dick Cheney was such a terrible, terrible, terrible VP. And Bush was bad as a president too, don't get me wrong. But it had nothing to do with her race. Nothing to do with her sex. But of course, the Democrats have to play it and say it's racism and sexism, because it couldn't just be that she was garbage. It couldn't be that people saw her in office as the VP. Granted, she wasn't the president, but she was in a position of power for 4 years while the country was going down the drain. It couldn't have been possibly that. And we will elect a woman as president. I do believe that as well. I do believe that in the United States we will have that. And I don't know if it'll come from the Democratic side. I honestly think the first woman president will probably be a Republican. But this grievance politics, this victimhood mindset from the Democrats, they still haven't given up the fact that they lost to that twice now. Trump has beaten 2 women in elections. And arguably, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but we know that 2020 was kind of funny. So, I don't know. I think that if the Democrats ever want to win elections, they got to get away from this. They have to. And don't get me wrong. I want them to stay in this path. Because I don't ever want these people in any sorts of positions of power. They're not good people. They say they're good. They say they want to do good for the population, and they want to treat people nice, and they care about all these people, but they don't actually care about people. They care about power, and they care about everyone else besides Americans. As we saw for 4 years, while the border was open, and these people, the Democrats, were putting illegal immigrants in hotel rooms while we had Americans homeless on the street. They were giving them cash money in New York, putting them in luxury hotels, prioritizing them in everything they could, taking budgets away from certain areas like Chicago's doing now, and I just made a video on this yesterday. Chicago is about to defund the police even more because they blew out their budget trying to take care of their illegal immigrants in the city because they're a sanctuary city. And now the regular citizens have to suffer with the less cops on the street because these people prioritized non-Americans over Americans. So I don't want Democrats to stop doing this. What I'm saying is that if they want to win elections, they have to get away from this. They have to stop making race and gender a factor in everything. She's basically saying that half of Americans are at least sexist. You can't even say racist because we already had a black president. So I don't even know why they play the race card. I don't know what bringing the race factor does in this conversation when we've already had a black president. It literally does nothing. We've had a black president already. So why even bring race into it? But my point being, if they want to win elections, if they want to, they have to get away from this stuff. This shit it's not a winner. You got to stop being fucking victims. People saw that she was garbage for 4 years. She did nothing for 4 years. She was the border czar and the border was wide open. Cities were being destroyed. You had gangs that were not even non-American gangs that all of a sudden were taking over apartment complexes in Colorado. And the same governments came out here and lied to you and told you that that wasn't actually happening. And when it was proven to be happening, they say, wait, no, but it's just some apartments. It's just a couple complexes. As if even one is okay.
And that's their focus, and that's how I've always run. I've never run as a woman or as a person of
I know, but
color.
you and Hillary
I have run
Clinton-
because I believe I'm the best to do the job.
Hold on, let me go. We're coming right back with more with Kamala Harris.
I can't believe I was actually, I agreed with something that Kamala Harris said. She said, I don't run as a woman of color, or I don't run as a woman, or I don't run based on my race. But that's bullshit, because if we remember in 2020, I agreed with the statement, but that's not true. Because if we remember in 2020, she launched her campaign and got the poll boost by basically attacking Joe Biden as a racist, because she was one of those little black girls who were supposed to be on those buses to go into integrated schools, and Joe Biden opposed that, according to her. So is that not using your race to play on these things? To run as a candidate, to try and score political points? But pretty short video today, guys. That's all I have to say. I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think race played a factor in her election? Do you think her gender played a factor? I don't think so. I just think the American people saw her for the dog shit candidate that she was. And they didn't want more of what had been going on for 4 years. They say, you know what? We'd rather go back to the orange man. At least when the orange man was in office, things were looking good. Things were okay. The economy was booming. My 401k was growing. And I was doing well. These last 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been atrocious. And I want no more of that. That's all I got for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. If you have anything you want me to react to, my email is in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.